Today our conversation is with San Jose State special teams coach Fred Guidici. And Coach, in our last conversation with Coach McIntyre, he mentioned that during the two-a-day period that there'd be a lot of emphasis on special teams work and special teams play. And maybe to date, how has special teams play gone during preseason camp?
It's really gone well, Lawrence. It started back in spring football. We had 15 practices in spring, and the total staff was involved, including Coach Mack, all the GAs, undergrad assistants. So it's a total group. I'm not by myself coaching it, by no means. It's a total Spartan coaching staff effort, and with their knowledge and expertise and experience, it's helped us really thrive here this fall.
So, in essence, do you delegate a portion of special teams play to each member of the coaching staff?
Well, I'm in charge of the whole thing. I'm the lead coach on each unit, but we break the units into, there's 11 guys playing, so we have maybe 4 coaches that help me with each unit. So I'll have a coach on a side, or 2 or 3 people, or the snapper holder and kicker, or the snapper and the punter, or the personal protector, whoever that may be. We have all our coaches assigned to the wings on PAT field goal, and different defensive line coach with the D line, Jim Jeffcoat, and the DB coach is working with the guys on defensive PAT field goal block. So we've got everybody. It's well distributed. Nobody's standing around. Everybody keeps busy.
So, for instance, if you were to have a special play regarding special teams activities for a given game, then could it be the responsibility of that area coach to come to you and say, well, hey, we think that we can do this to help win a game this week?
Well, absolutely. Everybody's eyes are involved, and that really comes down from the coaches in the box who have the best view of the game. And if I'll have a game plan, and I'll say, hey, look, if they are in this look, we need to think about running a fake here. If they show that, and I'll try to get some information upstairs, and they say, hey, Fred, take a look at this. It's all set up for you. And I'll run that by Coach Mack, and if he gives the green light, we're off and running.
So, for instance, last year when Travis Johnson blocked the 2 kicks in to help win the Hawaii game, there'd be a certain amount of game planning and communication to say, hey, we're going to do this to help our cause.
Well, you do have different blocks set up, but I tell you what, that was a great individual effort, both times by Travis, and Duke being in a great position, which it's coached to be that way, okay, and that's the way it was drawn up, and he ended up helping us win the Hawaii game, but a great individual effort by Travis Johnson. That's why he's an All-WAC and All-American candidate.
So, is there any specific set of characteristics you look for in terms of assigning players various special teams roles?
That's a great question. Each unit is a little bit different. Kickoff is they're the hammerheads. They're fearless. They're going down and sacrificing themselves for the betterment of the team for field position. Anything tackled inside the 20, we call the black zone. Conversely, when you get inside an opponent's 20, they call that the red zone. So for us, we like to call it the black zone. So we want to get as many black zones as we can with great kickoffs. And people like to call them the headhunters or the headbangers, whatever you want to call it. But that's what we look for, that characteristic. Punt return, you look for more athletic guys because you're doing a lot of holdups and walls and blocks and all that. So it's not such a physical game, more of a finesse phase. Okay, the punt protection is interesting because it's the only play in football, Lawrence, if you ever thought about it now, is the only play that you have to play offense. You have to block. And then once the ball's kicked, now you go to defense, literally within the play. So you have guys that are very athletic and that can protect and go down the field. So those guys on your punt protection team, those are your most reliable guys on your football team.
You've inherited some fine special teams players in punter Harrison Wade, who's been an all-conference punter. Damon Ogburn was named the team special teams player of the year, and Tyler Irvin was one of the top kickoff returners in the WAC. That seems like a pretty good base from which to start from.
Absolutely, and those kids are only working harder to get better. There's guys pushing them also now. So we don't have any fat cats, and so we're really comfortable. We're really not comfortable as far as who's being defined roles. So Harrison Wade has competition at place kicker, punter, and as the kickoff guy, we got a lot of running backs now and other defensive backs that are punt returner and kick returners. So they're all doing really. DeLeon Eskridge and Ronnie Yell and Tyler Irvin and Deshaun Frierson and we got plenty of guys. Jalen McCain we got a lot of guys that are potential returners in the punt and kickoff return game too. So that's good. It's competition. It breeds greatness, and so that's been good. That's been good.
Just looking at the return part of special teams, maybe if you can tell our fans the difference in terms of being a punt returner versus a kickoff returner.
A punt returner needs to be a shifty guy. Of course, he has to be fearless because that ball's high in the air, and there's 10 guys coming down after him. But he's got to be fearless, but he's a shifty type of player. After he secures the ball with a great catch and great ball security, then he has to find his way with shiftiness, and he maybe a stop and a start, and maybe bending something all the way back. He may have to get to a wall. Okay, so that's very elusive. Okay, as we're a kick returner, of course you have 10 guys coming full speed ahead. He's got to catch that thing on the fly and hit it full speed without breaking stride, and definitely, like I always say, thread the needle. That's a big term I tell the punt and kickoff returners is thread the needle, because holes open and close. All right, and there is no hesitation in kick return. It's point A to point B, and you got to do that with the great velocity and courage.
I understand you have a motto for your group.
Well,
what is the motto for this year?
Well, the motto might be for as long as I'm here, and that is "We need you." And I'm always saying stuff to players. I got a million sayings, and it started in the spring, and I'd be walking around. I'd say any of the players, I'd say, "We need you." Keith Ben Dixon, "We need you." Keith Smith, "We need." I would just be popping it off. Well, I didn't realize what I was saying so much. The fact that it's a call to arms, and then all of a sudden now these kids go, "Coach Fred, we need you," and all of a sudden, and they say it in that in that tone and this and that, and they're saying it to each other. So they've really bought into that. So that's been the mantra for the San Jose State special teams, has been "We need you." So it's a call to arms, and it's a call to our fans, and we need you. We need everybody to be there in Spartan Stadium and fill it up with 30,000 seats.
Well, Coach, I guess maybe a little takeoff on that is we're glad that we have you. And thanks again for being with us.
Well, I'm
today.
living the dream, and I tell you what, Lawrence, I want to win multiple WAC championship this year and multiple Mountain West championships and bowl rings, and get that stadium filled. And bring San Jose State not just a temporary greatness, but to greatness, and be the leader on the West Coast, and be fighting to get into a BCS bowl game, and great things are ahead. This is a great program. I'm honored to be here. It's a privilege to be here and be working under Coach Mack, who's outstanding man, teacher, guidance, and a great coaching staff, and kids that are really committed to winning. And you know what? It's not a job, it's a passion. And I'm glad I'm back being here as a Spartan. Thanks for having me.